All right, welcome back to Talkin Ball with Pat Leonard here on the Believe Network and on YouTube. A very special guest today, coming to us straight live from Fanatics Fest 2025 at the Javits Center. It is none only than Jaxson Dart, Giants rookie quarterback. Jaxson, thanks so much for being here, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Pat, for having me.
You got it. You got it. When you have been drafted by the Giants and you're walking around New York and now you're getting ready to go face to face, Jaxson, with all of these excited Giants, New York fans, and sports fans around the world, what is it like for you meeting these people face to face? And what are those experiences typically like?
Yeah, it's been great so far. Being able to walk around. When I first got here after I got drafted, I walked around the city with my parents and my siblings, and it was just cool to see the support. Everybody was super excited. Obviously, so was I. So those interactions were great, and then just my time here, in the city, and then in Jersey too. Everybody just being super supportive and really excited for the season. And I think that's just one thing like I love about here. I love the passion and just the support.
Does it hit you when you're talking to Giants fans how much you mean to them and how much turning this franchise around, is centered around you? Like, you were drafted to be the franchise quarterback and this organization looking to turn over a new leaf. Can you sense these people's hopes and aspirations as they're interacting with you?
Oh, absolutely. This is a place where everybody just wants to win and they want to be the top of everything. And I think that as a competitor, that's exactly where I want to be. I want that expectation for me not to, only just be from myself, but from everybody around me. And I think that, as an environment like that, that helps me play to the best of my potential. But yeah, this place just wants to win. And so I'm excited for that. I'm excited for, doing all that I can to help this team win and to do it at the highest level.
So at Fanatics Fest, fans are going to get to meet you, autograph signings, pictures, those kinds of things. It's an experience unlike any other. I can't wait to go as well. My question for you, Jaxson, though, is yes, you're excited to meet the fans. Are there any athletes or celebrities, like fellow pro athletes or people that you're excited to run into? Guys that you've watched, people you have admired, or just somebody who is famous who you've, marveled at from afar?
Yeah, this has been an event for a while now that I've, always wanted to attend. And then as of late, obviously just getting this opportunity is so special, just being in the prestigious group of individuals that it is, and then interacting with all the fans is going to be super cool. But I think I was a huge baseball fan growing up. The Yankees have always been my team. So I'm excited to meet Aaron Judge. And then, hopefully, some of the Hall of Famers and the legend. I know the Mannings are going to be here, so it's going to be good to see them again. And then, hopefully get to meet Tom Brady would be cool too.
Definitely. No doubt about it. A great experience for fans and athletes alike. All right. Speaking of fellow athletes, Tommy DeVito, Jaxson, he told us something very juicy on the last day of Giants mandatory minicamp. He said that you and Tommy have been talking about possibly at one point going on the Love Island show together. Number one, is this true? Number two, have you looked into how grueling the process would be for vetting you? Like, are you guaranteeing you'd make it onto the show if you tried out?
Geez, I don't know. I know that it's grueling to go through the whole process and whatnot, but shoot, I mean, Love Island's probably been my favorite reality TV show for a while now. So, that was something that, we'd talk around in the locker room with. And then obviously, this new season has gone kind of crazy. So me and Tommy have been watching and talking about it. I'm locked into football, but, maybe one day we'll see.
No, very much so. No, we're just having a little fun. Speaking of football, as I've been watching practices throughout the spring, one thing I noticed was, especially during the install individual periods, I see Brian Daboll, the head coach, basically in your hip pocket, basically reviewing every single rep with you. You're giving him feedback. He's giving you feedback. What is that like, being coached that closely? And, for lack of a better term in the NFL, what we say about the young players, right, is developing. So what is that like? Because it really does seem like you and Daboll are spending an intense amount of time together day in and day out.
Yeah, it's been special being able to be coached by him. And, he has such a great back record and blueprint of, all the guys that he's coached and then winning at the highest level. So, I think this is like the perfect spot for me, just being able to come in here, learn from a great coaching staff, learn from great quarterbacks and great players around me as well. And, I just love it. I really care and, admire a coach who really cares about, coaching their guys in the hardest way possible. And I come into this with an open mind. So, I want to follow his blueprint. I want to follow his development program. And, I'm really just grateful that he's coached me the way that he is.
What kind of things might he be saying to you after like a 7-on-7 against air rep? Like, what are you guys talking about in those moments?
Yeah, he's constantly coaching me about, what's the situation. Kind of like wants me to pick his mind in a way, really understand why each play is being called the way that it is. Where the ball's intending to go, why this is in this certain situation. And I think that's been great because, I'm able to go out there and just play ball. And he gives me so much freedom, especially as a rookie. I think that's super unique because he just wants me to play comfortably. And, he really does kind of give the keys to the quarterback even as a rookie. So that's been a lot of fun. And then obviously just coming off on the sideline after a series or after a few plays and then just really talking through those intensively. I've really enjoyed that because even during practices, I'm being able to, make adjustments rather than coming after practices and watching the film and make the adjustments. Then it's been great to make the adjustments during practice and continue to get better.
I know during college as well, the way that you would download after games on the road would be like you were on the plane and seated next to a guy we know very well here in New York, Joe Judge. And I know I've talked to Joe about how much of a film junkie you are, but also like he has said that one of the things that was really special about you was your ability to reflect, be accountable, and really try to learn like on those flights back and during those moments. And what was that like having an NFL coach to bounce things off of? And how much did you grow from kind of those experiences?
Yeah, Coach Judge was great and a huge part of, the success that we had as a team last year. And then individually, you can see, the development that I made, from my third year to my fourth year and just the jumps and leaps that I made. And I definitely contribute that to my, my coaches who, really pushed me. And, just the player that I am, like, I'm always put the work in. Like, I'd never shy away from that stuff. And, I always kind of challenged Coach Judge to see who was going to be the last one to leave the building. So we were constantly watching tape. And then, I was always like one of those guys where if I made a mistake, I really just wish that we had a second practice in the day so I could just clean it up. So I'm always constantly trying to learn. And he was great with me, being able to sit down and talk through those things. And at the same time, look through, NFL situational things and watch NFL tape, which was kind of unique for me, especially in the offseason before my senior year. And I feel like that helped give me a jump and kind of got me initiated a little bit, to go through the draft process and even into my rookie year.
Oh, that's really interesting. Watching pro tape, that has to be unusual in college, right? That's not a common thing, I would think.
No, it's not.
So you mentioned about trying to be first one in, last one out, doing, trying to challenge Judge with it in college. And you said this week, even after practice, that's something you want to do is hang around at the Giants building. Can you walk us fans and people through what a day in Jaxson Dart's life at the Giants facility looks like? Like, when are you watching film? Are you watching it on the iPad? Are you watching it in the quarterback's room? What time are you waking up? What are you having for breakfast? Because believe it or not, in these next couple of days at Fanatics Fest, you're going to be getting these same types of questions, Jaxson. Everybody wants to know everything.
Yeah, well, right now there's a lot of information that I'm trying to process of being able to, learn this offense. So, I'm waking up at 5:30, getting there at 6, getting a workout in, and then, obviously getting breakfast. And then we have our meetings individually as quarterbacks, and then, team, and then unit meetings, go back to Indy, and then we'll go out for like a walkthrough and practice. And then after the practice, you want to get a quick recovery, whether that's, going in the sauna or just getting treatment on your body. Then you'll have lunch, and then I'm there for the rest of the day, just, sitting on my iPad, going through tape, going over the new installs for the next day. And, it's been great to have the other quarterbacks around me, Russell, Jameis, and Tommy, because, they're there late too. And it's been great to sit down and study with them, being able to, if I'm walking into a room and one of those guys is watching tape, I'll just sit down with them and just pick their minds and listen to how, they talk through things. And then, for me, I like to have my individual study time too. So after I leave and get dinner, I'm back in my room just watching tape and trying to prepare for the next day.
As you watch that tape, I'm sure you see what I've seen, which is there are 2 rookie receivers who have stood out and have earned more reps really early on. You've developed the chemistry with them. They've played with Jameis, Russ, and they look very good to my eyes, at least. Bo Collins from Notre Dame and Dalen Cambry. I think I'm saying that name correctly.
Yeah.
What about Bo and Dalen makes them rookies who have flashed so early and so quickly, do you think?
Yeah, I've known Bo since I was in high school, obviously just being West Coast kids, and then competing in different circuits and whatnot. So I've kind of followed his success, from the time that he was at Clemson to Notre Dame. And I always thought he was just a hell of a player. And it's been great to, get him on this side of playing with each other in the league. And he's just made tremendous strides. I think like the biggest thing is you've been able to see him find confidence in his play style. And then, he's earned reps and he's made the most of them and has been playing at a really high level. So super proud of him. And then for Dalen, not a lot of people knew about him. He didn't have a lot of catches in college, and he kind of just found a special role in college. But obviously, the personnel department, so shout out to them, obviously, kind of find a diamond in the rough per se, and brought him in. And I knew it from rookie camp, right when we got there, obviously just introducing myself to everyone and then going out on the field. And I knew that, he was special and, he's been able to make tremendous plays and really has just been an exciting individual and talent for our team. And a lot of guys rally around him. So it's been fun. And like Bo, he's made the most of his reps and have done some really good things. So I'm just super proud of those guys.
No, they've impressed. All right, a couple quick ones. I know your time is tight there at Fanatics Fest, again, at the Javits Center, everybody in New York City, Friday through Sunday. Jaxson, I have to ask you, do you enter training camp feeling like you're competing for playing time at the quarterback position? I know Russell has been quarterbacking as the QB1, and you've said all the right things. I know you're just trying to get better as a player, but you're a competitor. I know in college it was, even in the final bowl game, it was hard to take you off the field when you guys were up 30 points. So I know you want to be on the field. So how do you approach that? Are you going into camp in late July, I'm playing to compete for a spot? Or are you okay developing and being in the background?
I think first of all, I'm going to prepare like I'm the starter no matter what my role is, because you really never know when your chance is going to come. And, I just, my mindset is whenever that comes, I'm going to be ready for it. And I'm not going to shy away from the moment, and I'm going to take advantage of it. But at the same time, the number one thing that I care about is winning. I don't care how much success I may be having. If the team is not winning, it's not fun. It's not fun for me. It's not fun for anybody else. So that's my mindset is, to prepare like I'm the starter. And then whatever my role is, I'm going to take it head on and do the best that I can to support everybody on the team and compete at the highest level. And I care about winning.
Good answer. All right. Quick rapid fire really quickly. In honor of all the fans and what they are so passionate about going to FanFest. Growing up as a sports fan and as an athlete, Jaxson, did you have a favorite jersey that you owned, an athlete's jersey? What sport and what athlete?
My favorite athlete growing up was Derek Jeter. I think I've said that before. So I have a few Jeter jerseys from just my time growing up and get bigger. I had to get, a few new sizes. And then I was able to get a signed ball from him before I even got drafted here after my senior season. So wow. I would say definitely my Jeter jerseys growing up.
All right. And last one, are you a card collector? Have you been a card collector? And did you have any prized possessions on that front, or is that something you need to get into?
When I was younger, I was a big card collector, and, I was always trying to get jersey cards. Always just trying to find things. My dad was a huge card collector, so it's been kind of fun to see his collection and whatnot. But I think this will be something that I'll pick up more. I kind of fell away from it when I got into high school and into college, but it's been cool to, get back to this space and being in atmospheres and environments like this where you get to see, your favorite players. And I feel like it's just a cool and unique opportunity to, find those collector items and get to also put a face to the card and make personal connections as well.
All right. He is the one and only Jaxson Dart, Giants rookie quarterback, again, live from Fanatics Fest 2025 at the Javits Center in New York. This has been Talkin Ball with Pat Leonard, brought to you by MyBookie. BoomChaga Mushroom Stupor Drink, Estate 98 Coffee, and Sal Lauretta for Men. Thank you so much for being here, Jaxson.
Yeah, appreciate you, Pat. Thanks for having me.